a very significant role in healing, in the healing process. Not me say that, but the Most High said it. For the herb shall be for the healing of the nation. All right, so if we use herbs the right way, the herbs will work for us, and herbs take a longer time to work. But when they do work, you see maximum results if you know how to use the plants for the ailment that you have. All right? Today we're going to talk about bowel disorders, and we're going to talk a little bit about brain cancer and how you can prevent a tumor from coming back in your brain. A surgeon is a great man, because we herbalists, we can't go into your brain because we know how. That's why I make him so great. He's great, but he can't tell you what he don't understand, you know what I mean, or tell you how to prevent the tumor from coming back in your brain. All he know to do is take it out. But you can prevent it from coming back, or you can prevent it from happening in the first place. We're going to tell you how, right? Okay? All right, so we don't want to stay too long, you know, because the Liliana get kind of trim. She does tremble sometimes, you know what I'm saying? All right, so we're going over here. And the herbalist. And I want you to share the love. And I want to thank all the people who support me, because without you looking at the program, there'll be no me. So I want to thank everybody, even the critics and all, because they all watch too. All right? So we're going to bowel disorders. All right. And let's go to what they are. Let's go to first the bowel disorders. What are bowel disorders? Crohn disease, Mucus Colitis, Ulcerative Colitis. Sorry about the N in the back. It's supposed to be an S. Sorry about that. Diverticulitis, Veneocclusive disease. We're going to tell you what that is, because some herbs can cause veneocclusive disease. We're going to tell you what the herbs are. IBS, irritable bowel syndrome, and digestive disorders. Because once you have troubles in the bowels, it could lead to the digestive system, because it's part of the earth. We mentioned that before. Right? So with this presentation, we are dealing with the whole earth system. As I said before, the bowel is part of the earth system, and that is why if you are getting troubles in the bowels, you can get troubles in the digestive tract, in the stomach. Yeah? Wonderful. Okay, now, so those are the bowel disorders, plus you have ileitis, and you have celiac disease. All these are troubles in the digestive system or in the bowels. All right? So those are what we call bowel disorders. Now this one over here, it's called Crohn disease, is the most difficult to fix. This one over here, we're going to tell you what causes. So we're going to go to Crohn's, Mucus Colitis, Ulcerative Colitis, and we're going to go to Diverticulitis and IBS. We're going to come back to those two in a little while. All right? So let's go to, we're going back up to the bowels. Now, if you look at the shape of the intestines, it's shaped like a U, and the intestines supposed to be looking just like that. So when you go to the bathroom and you have a meal and you pass fecal matter, your fecal matter supposed to be as fat as your intestine, just like that, fat as that. Just like when your 2-year-old child goes to the bathroom and she passes fat stool, that means her colon is intact. Your stool is supposed to be just as this, fat as that, but soft enough to come through the rectum and the anus because of water to moisten the stool. So you're not supposed to have hard stool. You're not supposed to have stool looking like goat. Once you have stool that is thin and crappy and goaty, it's telling me that something is wrong in the bowels, in the lad's bowel, that is. All right? Bottom line. Now, this is a healthy colon, And this is the disease colon. Now, we're going to say that all diseases start when the foods get in your digestive system, in the stomach. Right? Start there. Now, if you don't have good digestive health, meaning that you don't have good stomach health, and your foods is not being processed properly in your digestive system, which is your stomach, you are prone to having troubles in the large bowel. All right? Now, I'm going to tell you why. Right. The colon here is an area where food should not sit at all. Why? Because if food allowed to sit in there, you're going to have troubles with bad bacteria. We're going to get into that. People, now there's a study, and I don't want to say that Patrick does say that. There's a study, and we're looking at studies that was not done in America, because in America studies are hardly done. You understand? You have studies that are done in Utah, some places in Boston, but this study was done in Sweden. And the studies prove that people who ate at fast food restaurants on a regular basis and who ate too much sugars increase the risk of coming down with colon disorders or colon problems or even colon cancer. Studies prove that, because they had 152 people who had colitis and Crohn disease, and they had 52 people who had the disease and went on a strict diet. And all the people who kept on eating the fast foods and the sugars didn't repair their colon troubles, and the people who changed their diet fixed or repaired their colon troubles like Crohn disease and Mucus Colitis within 1 year. That's a study in Sweden. All right? Now, restaurants that serve fast foods and people who eat lots of sugar, as I said before, increase the risk of having troubles in this area. All right? Waste matter in the colon can cause cancer or cause cancer-causing substances. When waste matter presses against your colon wall, waste matter means fecal matter. You know what I mean? Bowel, when you have a bowel movement, you're not getting rid of the fecal matter. When that fecal matter press against your colon wall and you have too much fats in your diet, these fats create anaerobic bacteria in the bowel. We're going to talk about those in a while. But it presses on the colon wall. The greater the threat of colon cancer if you have fats sitting or pressing on the walls of your colon. The greater the cause of colon cancer if you have fat sitting on the walls of your colon. Bottom line. Now, a high-fat diet promotes cancer by stimulating the production of what we call anaerobic bacteria. Those bacteria, what we call anaerobic bacteria, they do not need oxygen. I want to use the word oxygen. These anaerobic bacteria that sits in here after you eat lots of fats, and the fats start pressing on your colon walls, a high-fat diet, high-sugar diet, it increases the production of the anaerobic bacteria, but these bacteria do not need oxygen to exist. And anybody who went to medical school and studied the colon will tell you that. These bacteria that form in your intestines, or the large bowel that is, they change the bile acids in our fecal matter into chemicals that cause cancer. These same bacteria that is caused by a high fat diet, and when the fats presses on the walls of your colon, these bacteria do not need oxygen to exist inside here, and these bacteria can cause your bile salts or your bile acids to change into chemicals that cause cancer, and that is the reason why you're getting colon cancer. You understand? Let me tell you what a bacteria does too. The anaerobic bacteria, they can also, the bacteria sitting inside here. See, this is a good colon. When you have them sitting inside here, and they create havoc inside here, they're anaerobic bacteria. They change the bile acid in your fecal matter into chemicals that cause cancer, and they also can convert bile into what? Estrogen, which also triggers tumor growth. The same bacteria that do not need oxygen to survive can also change bile acids into what? Estrogen, which triggers tumor growth inside here. We're going to talk about this in a little while. Now, I want all the people who in biology or who study the colon to change that. When you eat on raw foods, meaning that you eat a lot of processed foods, it is not good for food to sit inside the bowels. Because as we said before in the previous presentation, that this is what we call the sewage system. It receives waste. But some of us eat so bad that we have this sewage system squeezing some of the nutrients to push back into the walls, to go back into the portal vessel, and cause toxins in the bloodstream, and cause us to get diseases long term, even brain tumors too. So, the food paste you've been ingesting for so long, it sits in your large bowel or the earth system, unable to move. And once it can't move, it creates what, Christiana? It creates heat. Not havoc, heat. It creates, once the waste that's sitting in the food sitting inside you, it creates heat and moisture. Once the heat and the moisture sits here from the food sitting in your bowels, it invites what? It invites bacteria to grow while what? It ferments your waste matter, causing acids inside here. Acids and byproducts that eat away on the lining of your intestinal tract, making it come like this over here. Over here. They start to create acids. I want to use the word acids. And once they start to create acids, the acid and byproducts eat away at the walls of your intestinal tract, the lining that is, and this condition is what the doctors call, what? They call it colitis, or they call it Crohn disease. Because you had food sitting here creating heat and moisture for so long that it started to create all these acids, and the acids start to eat up the walls of your intestinal tract, making it come like this over here, and then they call it Crohn disease, and they call it what? Ulcerative colitis. See there? Right there. Because you change the pH in your intestines from 7.8 alkaline to what? To 3.2, 3.4, 2.5 acid. Because once the food sits in here for a long period of time, it will invite the bad bacteria, and once the bad bacteria and moisture develops in here, it starts to eat the lining of your intestinal tract and put holes in here, and that is the reason, that is where all diseases start from, because you change the composition of the pH in the intestinal walls, and you turn it into an acid pH. And we know for a fact that acid does what? Acid does what? Acid eats things up. So the acid start eating up the lining of your intestines, and you get Crohn disease. or you get colitis. That's what they call it. The only difference between colitis in here and Crohn disease is the extent of the inflammation. Is the extent of the inflammation. Don't forget I said that the difference between Crohn disease and colitis is the what? Is the difference in the extent of the inflammation. In Crohn's disease, the inflammation extends throughout your intestines. In colitis, it's totally different. So when you have Crohn's, that's why Crohn's is more dangerous, because Crohn's could kill you, because it starts to take over the whole of the intestinal walls, the lining, eat it up. And that's the reason why you start to suffer from malabsorption, you start to lose weight. Because now you can't absorb nothing, because the holes that the acid put in here, because of foods sitting in the sewage system for a long period of time, invite heat and moisture, which change the bile into acids and cause the acid to eat up the lining of your intestinal wall, and they call it Crohn disease, or they call it colitis. Let's look at Mucus Colitis. And all of them is inflammation. Don't forget now, they all are inflammation of the large bowel. But because you have irritation, when you cause the bowels to be irritated, you will get inflammation, because irritation causes inflammation. Don't forget I told you that. Now let's look at Mucus Colitis. Remember we talked about colitis, we talked about Crohn disease. Now we're going to talk about Mucus Colitis. Now when you eat again your foods, and your foods come inside here, again, this is a sewage system. You're not supposed to have anything sitting in here. You're supposed to have the food moving out quick, so you could have what we call fast transit time. If you don't have fast transit time, meaning that you're eating a food in a compatible way, and they wanted to find out what incompatible foods are. Incompatible foods are, you're eating a starch food with a protein food. You're not supposed to eat a starch with a protein, because the protein will slow up the starch food in your stomach. And then it's going to cause fermentation, which in turn cause mucus and acids. And once you start to have these conditions, you're going to have trouble down here. So once you start to eat incompatible foods together, the food comes sit right over here, can't move, because you're eating 3 meals per day, and you're going to the bathroom once per day. Where the other 2 meals at? They're inside here. While they're sitting in here and creating what? Bacteria and mucus and putrefaction, the same bacteria that the moisture and the heat produces try to get into the mucous membranes of your intestinal tract, the large bowel that is, but your body have wisdom, because God ain't created it stupid. God created the body with a lot of wisdom, to fight things off. So inside here, once there is an excessive amount of the bad bacteria, because you have food sitting in the bowels and creating heat and moisture. And don't forget, we said that the bad bacteria do not need oxygen to exist. The bad bacteria start to go into the mucous membranes to invade the mucous membranes. But your mucous membranes have mucus, or it produces mucus. So what it does, in order for the bad bacteria not to invade the mucous membranes, your mucous membranes start to produce lots of mucus to prevent the bad bacteria from coming in. That's good. But then you get mucus colitis, so you see mucus in your stool. And all because you've been messing the earth system up, the digestive system, having slow transit time, eating dessert, you understand, eating the food in an incompatible way, and eating food at night when your organs are supposed to be resting and regenerating. And then long term, 20 years down the line, keep it straight. 20 years down the line, you start to have troubles in your bowels. Right here. That's what mucus colitis is. Mucus colitis is the bacteria trying to get into your mucous membranes, and your mucous membrane in turn start to produce excessive amount of mucus to prevent the bacteria from coming in. That's good, but you start to get mucus in your stool, so they call it mucus colitis. And they can't fix it because they give you steroids. because they treat all these diseases down here like an autoimmune disease. IBS, leaky gut, IBS. Same thing, they all come from one cause. IBS or irritable bowel syndrome, here we say irritable. Irritable means it is irritating your bowels, but they call it a syndrome. Once it starts to irritate your bowels, you're going to get inflammation. It's common sense. You know, you don't have to be a rocket scientist to understand these basic principles. They don't teach you all these things. So they say you have irritable bowel syndrome, we're going to give you some steroids. So I asked, well, what is irritable? Well, something is irritating your bowels. Oh yeah, why? Something is irritating the bowels because something is sitting too long over here. So when you eat your foods and you don't chew your foods properly, we call it cut and swallow in Grenada. You cut it and you swallow it. You don't chew well because you have to chew your food at a certain level. You can't make your food too thin because it could cause you to have an impact colon also. You have to have it at a certain level. But if you don't chew well and the foods come in and the food's in chunks and he start putting holes in your intestine because he's in chunks, and once he put holes in here, he start to leak out of your intestinal tract and get into the bloodstream. But your immune system is so wise that he takes the foods that's coming back from the walls or the holes or the sores that you put in your bowels. He takes the food as a foreign invader, and the immune system start attacking the food particles, and then you start to get what? Allergies. Ready red nose, scratchy eyes, mucus, allergies, because now, and they call it an immune disease. So allergies, all the people who suffer from allergies and sinuses is suffering from leaky gut. You can ask your doctor to take an Indican test or a Heidelberg test for you to find out if you have that. Look for enzyme in here. IBS, that's the cause of it. They all have one cause because they all are inflammation that is caused by irritation. So once you are irritable or you irritate something in here, you're going to get inflammation. That's a fact. Now let's go to this one over here. Woo. This is the good guy. This is the bad guy. Now when you have your colon looking like this, you can never absorb nothing. You're going to have trouble spilling back in the blood. And you're going to have trouble spilling back in the digestive system. And you're going to have toxins spilling back into your pancreas. And you're going to have toxins spilling back into your gallbladder. And you're going to have toxins spilling back into the blood and carries it to your brain, and you get a brain tumor. Because the endocrine system, the brain, depends on pure blood coming from the liver, the digestive system. If the blood is not pure, because this organ is messed up, you will have some kind of problem. Heart, kidney, pancreas, digestive, heartburn, digestive issues, dysbiosis, indigestion, hiatus hernia. They all come from over here. So look at that now. You eat so, people eat so incompatible that they come and they start to mess up the function of the small intestines. And once the small intestines is messed up, then all the toxins come into this organ, and what I said before, the food sits in here and can't move, and then you get what? Ulcerative colitis, diverticulitis, the diverticulosis, the diverticular, the splenic flexure corresponds to your stomach, hepatic flexure corresponds to your heart, your liver, and your gallbladder. What? Acids, and then you're going to have troubles with what? The same bile converted into estrogen will cause you to have tumors. Let them know that. That's a fact. So when I teach to keep the earth system healthy. And when you keep the earth system healthy and you have what we call fast transit time, meaning that you have foods moving from the stomach area to the small intestines, to the large intestine, quick, whoop, and it's gone, you can never get troubles in your digestive system. And you can never get troubles in the glands. You can never get anxiety. You can never get heart troubles. You can never get clogging of the arteries. You can never get brain tumors. You can never get high blood pressure or diabetes. Or lupus. Because lupus sclerodoma, muscular dystrophy, myasthenia gravis, multiple sclerosis, all the syndrome they talk about that have no cause. They say they have no cause. They all come from leaky gut. Because they have lupus, sclerodoma, muscular dystrophy, myasthenia gravis, Guillain-Barré syndrome. All of them they have as autoimmune diseases. See? So the autoimmune diseases doesn't start like that. It have to start when you change the composition of your pH in your intestinal tract to an acid pH because of food sitting in here causing moisture and heat and inviting bacteria. And you start to get Candida albicans as a woman. And then you take antibiotics. And the antibiotics kill the good and the bad bacteria and give you more yeast and albicans. And they make you feel like antibiotics is the best thing. Just like they make you feel chemotherapy is your best choice. They make you feel that antibiotic is your best choice. But antibiotics give you more troubles on here than anything, and then they give you a woman yeast infections. Because it causes the bad bacteria to escalate and cause you to have yeast or Candida albicans. All these troubles. So when a woman has trouble in her vagina, it comes from over here. It starts in your vagina, it starts over here. When you get dandruff in your hair, it starts from here. When you get athlete's foot, it starts from here. You understand? When you get several spinal disturbances in your back pain, it starts from right over here. That's what it is. That's what it is. So, in order for us to repair, I'm going to use the word repair loosely, in order for us to repair these conditions, we have to go back to where, Krista?
The colon.
To the earth system.
The earth, yes.
We have to change a person's diet. And we have to retrain how you eat your foods. And then we have to go in and we have to feed this particular organ here. We have to feed him nice nutrients and have to make him clog the holes up and make him learn to absorb your nutrients. Because lots of people have what we call low acid in the stomach walls and cannot assimilate minerals especially, and they start to lose weight because you are not absorbing. All diseases, 90% of them starts in the digestive system. So when you have lupus, sclerodoma, muscular dystrophy, all these myasthenia gravis, all these different diseases, we go to the colon. We go to the earth. And if there is a holes in the earth system, we clog it up. And we change the pH back to a 7.8 alkaline pH, and then automatically things start to function better because you start to feel better. That's the bottom line. So you see that? When you have a colon like this, which is good, and you eat the wrong foods on a regular basis for over 20 years, eating the wrong way, eating fast foods, in a restaurant, lots of sugars, lots of fats, and fats have to eat up the wall of the colon, and invite bad bacteria, who you going to blame? You have to blame yourself because you want to talk. See? And when it comes like this, now it is more difficult to repair because now we in herbal medicine have to come in and try to repair what you had damaged long term. So there are herbs for that. We're going to show you how to fix Crohn disease. We're going to show you how to fix IBS. We're going to show you how to fix colitis and mucus colitis and ulcerative colitis because that's a sore in your belly. So look at the ulcerative colitis. Once you change the pH into an acid pH in the stomach or in the intestinal tract, and the acids start eating up the walls of your intestine, they call it ulcerative colitis. And all because you change the pH. Acid burn things up. We know that for a fact. You take some acid from a battery in your vehicle and put it on a penny, see what happens. So acid burns up things. You have to have it in sync, in balance. But when you have too much of the acid burning up your intestine, they call it ulcerative colitis, but they can't fix it. We're going to show you how now. Hey, I'm going to show you now how. So look at all this Crohn disease, mucus colitis, ulcerative colitis, diverticulitis, veno-occlusive disease. This is a disease of the liver that is caused by when you use plants that have what we call alkaloids, paralyzing alkaloids. So I want to teach you all today about plants. Do not use plants unless you go to see a trained herbalist. Because some plants have pearlizidine alkaloids. Gravel root have it. Chaparral have it. Comfrey have it. They have alkaloids. And if these plants are used long term, they will give you a condition called venous disease of the liver, cause cancer there. So not because you're sick, you hear herbs are natural, they have chemicals also. And you have to know what the chemical makeup of the plant is before you can ingest that plant. But what we do, when we mix these herbs that cause this condition with other plants, we cut down on the side effect of that particular herb causing venous disease. IBS, digestive disorders. These are the conditions that you have. Now, let's look at the esophagus. We call it the gullet and grenade, the pancreas, the liver, the gallbladder, the large intestine, small intestine, and the stomach, right to the stomach. Now, him, if you don't put the right food in him, in the stomach, and you don't put the food in a compatible way, you are going to create a havoc in the large bowel, in the small bowel, in your gallbladder, and in your liver, and in your pancreas. Because the pancreas is tucked under the right lobe of the liver, and the gallbladder is tucked under the left lobe of your liver, and they share the same duct. This and this here share the same duct. So, when you eat an incompatible meal for 20 years, meaning that you eat starches and protein together, because that's what they taught you. They said to you, I want you to eat 6 food groups in one plate. So you eat starches with proteins, fats with proteins. And then after you eat all the big meal, you have a dessert, ice cream. Line?
I'm a favorite.
And then you eat fruits after your protein meal. You can never live long or have a good quality of life. Ready? Going? Wonderful. Well, that's how technology is. They have faults too, you know what I mean? They have Wi-Fi.
We got cut off.
We got cut off. So let's go and finish. We're almost done. We're gonna just cut it in half because we're gonna do that bowel, we're gonna do the cancer, brain cancer, and another segment because I think the Wi-Fi is giving some kind of problem. You know what I'm saying? So let's go. Right? Now we got over here. We said if the foods if the starches do not break down in your stomach, right? When the starches reach here in your stomach, the acid kills the amylase that brings the starches down. The starches move down here, and your small intestines and your pancreas produces a little bit more of the amylase to break down the finishes the digestive process of all starches in your small intestines. When you eat a protein meal, proteins are chicken, fish, turkey, pork, beef. They're all protein foods. And when protein foods get into the mouth, you chew the protein foods come into the stomach. And the protein food have the same problem that starch does because the same acid kills the protease that breaks down your protein food. But your protein have a backup called pectin that resists the acid. So the protein finishes or digests in your stomach. Now imagine you eating in an incompatible way with a starch and a protein together. Once the starch and the protein gets inside the stomach, the starch can never move because he has to wait for the protein to digest first before he moves down here. So if you eat fish with potatoes, the fish will keep the potato in the stomach for 12 hours because the fish takes 12 hours to digest in your stomach alone. Chicken takes 7 hours. While the fish is digesting, the potato is in here and he is being idle, can't move, and he starts to create fermentation, and fermentation in turn causes acid and mucus. And when the protein digests in the stomach, then the starch moves and it goes into the small intestines. The only problem with the potato now, he finishes the digestive process, but he's undigested, and that's where all the trouble starts in the large bowel. When the protein is digested, the protein moves also, but now the protein creates a havoc in here because now you're eating an incompatible meal 3 times per day, and you're having 1 bowel movement per day. And in the process, you are causing havoc in your digestive system, in the earth system, and then you start to get all these diseases over here. So, in order for you to prevent troubles in the digestive system, in the earth system, because once you have troubles starting in the stomach, you are going to have troubles in the pancreas, you're going to have troubles in your liver, you're going to have troubles in your gallbladder, and you're going to have troubles in your small and your large intestines, long term. And some people say they have what? Iron stomach. They say they have. I have iron stomach. I could eat anything. Yes, you can. You can eat anything, but you end up with arthritis. You end up with heart troubles. You end up with eye problems because you have an iron stomach. Or you end up with varicose veins, because varicose veins and all starts right here. Because of people eating in an incompatible way, and they have what we call a genetic predisposition of getting these diseases. Yeah? Let's go to fix it now. Now, when we are fixing any digestive troubles, especially in the bowels, we go to plants that have an astringent effect, and some plants that are what we call Demulcent plants. So let's look at sea moss is a Demulcent plant, and yarrow is an astringent plant. Slippery end is what we call a carminative plant, but it also acts as a Demulcent plant because of the content of the mucilage in the plant. So remember that when you have troubles in the bowels, you have to clog up the holes that is causing your food to leak out. So we have to go to the Demulcent plants. So we go to sea moss, marshmallow, we go to slippery end, we go to catnip, we go to yarrow, and we go to turmeric. And turmeric acts as the anti-inflammatory, because remember that all these conditions in your bowels is inflammation. Now this amino acid is very significant. Now, a deficiency of L-glutamine will weaken your intestinal walls. A deficiency of glutamine, don't forget I told you that, will what? Will weaken your intestinal walls. A deficiency of glutamine will weaken your intestinal villi, causing poor absorption of nutrients from your foods. A deficiency of L-glutamine. L-glutamine, what it does, it enhances that, it helps the colon to recover from colitis by increasing what? The good bacteria in your colon. In studies, I want to say studies, don't Patrick them, studies by doctors and scientists. In studies, glutamine has decreased weight loss in people who have what we call colitis or Crohn disease or IBS. And it improves nitrogen retention and increases colon thickness, protein, and DNA content as well. Let them know that. We'll do the studies. Look at the studies. L-glutamine also improves a person who has colitis and Crohn disease survival time and decreases mortality rate by 80%. L-glutamine does that. L-glutamine. Him right here. Oh yeah. Yeah. L-glutamine. This guy right here. That's what he does. L-arginine provide a wound healing to people who have colitis, mucus colitis, and Crohn disease. L-arginine does that. So a person who have colitis, mucous colitis, Crohn disease should incorporate L-glutamine and L-arginine in the diet, because L-arginine it promotes wound healing, and it also helps with your intestinal growth. Quercetin from onions reduces inflammation when combined with what? With vitamin C and borage oil. Quercetin decreases inflammation when combined with borage oil and vitamin C. When you have colitis, mucous colitis, Crohn disease, IBS, and all these other colitis, diverticulitis, all of them can be fixed. And when we are going to the herbs, we are going to mix them together, and we are going to take 1 teaspoon to a cup of hot water, and you're going to cover it for 5 minutes, and you're going to drink 3 cups per day, 5 minutes before your meals. And you're going to take 40 billion of your probiotics, and you're going to take 40 to 60 drops of the tincture in the 7 precious mushrooms to do what? To act as the amphoteric to balance back the immune system, especially if you have lupus and Crohn disease and IBS and leaky gut. 7 precious mushrooms, 60 to 80 drops 3 times per day to balance back the immune system, and wholly immune to deal with liver detoxification. And when you are doing that, do not eat a high fiber diet. Because when you have any kind of these bowel conditions, a high fiber diet can cause it to make it worse. But to prevent these conditions, you have to eat food that have a lot of fiber and lots of water. You understand? Because a high fiber diet needs lots of water. You understand? So when you have all these conditions, you try to avoid eating heavy foods. So what we're doing, we are resting the earth system. We are resting the earth system, and we are feeding it liquids, because you can never ever fix any digestive troubles with tablets and pills and capsules. Never ever. You must rest the digestive system, rest the earth. And when you're resting the earth, you're feeding him herb teas, you're feeding him soups, you're feeding him green leafy juices from a juicer, because you're resting him. And when you're resting him, chlorophyll from the green juices is healing the intestinal walls. And then you're using all your glutamine and all your herbs to clog up the holes in your intestinal tract. And then after about 3 to 4, 6 months, you start to eat foods, bring them in gradually back into your diet until you fix your digestive condition, because it can be repaired. Yeah, man. Yes. We done talk? Go back to Africa? All these black people. Huh? Huh?
If you're not interested in the video or what has been
Go
taught
back to
here,
Africa? I don't go back to Africa. I don't
just
go forward
leave
to
the
Africa.
program. Just leave the program. You don't need to sit and listen
You
what's
must
going
have-
on here, you know?
You're dealing like the Williams syndrome brothers.
This program is only for people who is interested
Yeah, I
in
don't mind to
keeping
go forward to
themselves
Africa.
well,
Africa is where I come from. I love
or
Africa.
people who wants to get well, or people who want to be educated on how,
Why you don't go back to Africa? What you doing in the West?
on how to keep themselves healthy. You know?
But brother, go read about Willie Lynch, okay, man? You might think a little different, brother. All right. Don't be jealous, though. You know what I'm saying? It's not about jealousy, it's about love. Yeah? All right. Now, we're not going to stay too long, because you know the connection is kind of messed up. So we're going to use that colon cancer presentation for another day, and with brain tumors, and show the cancer in the brain, and how you can prevent a tumor from coming back in your brain if you follow a good, clean diet and keep the bloodstream wet. That's what it's all about, man. You know what I mean? It's imperative that we look at how we use the foods, because food is supposed to be used as medicine. But our food is killing us. Why? Why? Because we were not taught how to eat. So from infancy, we keep on throwing foods into our mouth, in our children's mouth, and tell our digestive system to take it and shut up. So here we do. Come over here. We say here. He's telling me, say here now. We put in all kind of things. Pork, grease, fries, barbecue, and we said to him, shut up and take it. And he, after a while, he said, oh yeah, shut up and take it? Okay. After a while, he gets fed up of us abusing him. You understand? So he do a few things. He either him, give us a symptom. Him, gallstones. Him, diabetes. Him, pancreatitis. Him, pancreatic cancer. That's where he takes your life now. But he been warning you before. And he says to you, listen to me, eat right, treat me good, clean me up, detox me on a regular basis. Don't have me or don't have food sitting on me for a long period of time because I'm going to harm you long term. And then all of a sudden, you said, I don't care. Shut up and take the food I give you. And you're giving him the food every day for 20 years, 30 years, 40 years. And then he said, look, one day he said to you, him says, I cannot take the abuse no more, so I started to give you indigestion. I started to give you acid flux. I started to burn. He give you lupus. And these are the diseases, Crohn disease. He give you IBS. Because he been warning you by little symptoms, a bellyache. You know what I mean? Bitterness in the mouth. That's a sign. He tells you. You don't listen. And then all of a sudden, one day, he takes your life. He gets you sick, and then he kills you long term because he could not take the abuse. So I'm saying, rest him. Clean him up. Detoxify him. Treat him good. Take him on a vacation to Hawaii. Give him herbs. And then when you give him the herbs and you come back in the environment again, another 6 weeks, don't let nothing pile up in your body. Clean him up again. Treat him good. Just like you treat your vehicle. Just like you treat your house. You clean it up. You paint it over. You paint your vehicle. You buy the rims. Buy music. All the music in your vehicle. But all he says to you is, take care of me and I will take care of you. And if you don't take care of me, I'm going to harm you long term. And that is what our digestive system does. The body harms us long term because we took it for granted. You understand? Blessed love. I'm in New York on the 16th of September to the 24th of September, I believe. And then I'm in Canada from the 24th of September to the 28th of September. And then I'm back in New York again and back in Grenada on October 5th, I believe. And then we're going to Belize. We're going to Belize on the 28th of November to the 5th of December. We are in Belize. We are in Belize. What happened now?
Oliver Miller, you give me joking.
We are in Belize.
He says, nigga, you look like shit. Anyone takes advice from you, blah, blah, blah. Oliver Miller, are you a black guy? Because I see a picture looking black to me. This is another black brother. You should be ashamed of yourself.
Oliver Miller, you're that house Negro.
You should be ashamed
That's
of
what
yourself.
you are. You are a house Negro.
You don't want to be
Oliver
on this
Miller.
program, just go.
You
Go
are a
hide
house
yourself.
Negro.
Go hide
That's
yourself
what you
somewhere.
Are. Go listen to the master.
Why don't you go hide yourself somewhere?
Hide
Why
yourself
are you
somewhere,
here?
man.
Why are you here? You're looking for somebody white. You're asking if somebody white is not streaming today.
That's it is with the brothers, man.
So
They're brainwashed.
maybe you should go find somebody white to listen to. Why
Yeah.
you here? Leave us
Yeah,
black
so why you
people
on my
be.
page? If you don't want to listen to my page, why you all on my page scrolling though?
Leave us black people be, Miller.
Leave us alone. I'm teaching my people. I go to them.
And he looks pretty good for 62 years old.
Yeah.
I'm sure he looks better than you looking at your picture, if that is you.
I don't have no trouble with the critics, man.
Maybe you should just look and listen. Maybe you would learn something new and start looking like Patrick.
My people go handle him, so my people go handle him, man.
Yeah, you know, all the people who
critics.
I need to say this, and I will say this one last time. We're not really into blocking people, because if we go to block everybody who have a bad comment, then we'll just be wasting time and energy on wasteless people.
Let me tell you something. When I first,
say this.
Yeah, sure, go ahead.
But all I'm going to say is, if you're not happy with this program, and you don't think that you're interested, just get off.
Yeah.
You understand?
Get off the damn page. Don't look at my
You don't
stuff.
need to be here. You know,
Yeah.
with love. You don't need to be
Yeah.
here. Just go find yourself useful somewhere else. All right?
Yeah, the haters and the jealous people.
That is
That's
all we're
good.
going to say.
You know, when I first started to do a post on Facebook, that was about 2011. I had 15 views, 5 views, 6 views, 6 likes. And I used to have a lot of people who I know, even brothers, black people. Black brothers, I could name a few of them. You know what I mean? P. Fight me down. Call me a quack. Come and listen to me, call me a quack. Brothers, man. Nurses. You know what I mean? And all of a sudden now, the nurse is one of my good friends because she saw what I was saying, reality, and she's helping people. So I don't go by the critics, more they say. My work speaks for myself, so I don't bother with the critics. But at the end of the day, we grow, and we go on different levels. And I don't block nobody. I don't block people, man. They wanna, you come on my page, you could talk to you, that's your free speech. You know what I mean? Just don't disrespect my audience. You understand?
Yes, because then we will block you.
But then we not block, we could come looking for you too. You understand? Malcolm X says that. By any means necessary. That's my motto. You know, we show love, we get back the love, that's all good. If you want to criticize, I take constructive criticism. I don't have a trouble with that.
Yeah,
You know
we're
what I
here
mean?
to teach people about health, and this is what we're here for.
All I'm there is to tell people, I had a stroke, I fixed myself. I had epilepsy, I fixed myself. You know what I mean? I had migraines, I fixed myself. Because I learned. And I want to pass on what I learned to others. Telling them that they can fix themselves too. But you have people who, some of them are doctors, they biochemists, they come on the scene because what you're all teaching people are lies. You're all lying to the people every day. And making them feel they have insurance. Insurance is not assurance. Insurance don't tell you that you're going to insure your life.
Yeah, it's true.
Insurance is not assurance. I'm telling you to insure your life, yourself, by eating the right food and keeping your organs well. And keeping your digestive system healthy. And then you will prevent yourself from paying that big insurance because it is not assurance. That's what I'm saying, because I didn't have insurance. Yeah? But I fixed myself. Because I learned the process because our parents and grandparents died with the knowledge, man. They died with that. They died with the knowledge. They taught us nothing about plants. I don't want to die with my knowledge, so I'm going to pass it on to our people. Who want to criticize, that's their business, all good. I'm going to take the constructive criticism. But once you start to hit my people, ah man, I'm going to do it through jail. Because I could be a revolutionary. In the revolutionary sense. Blessed love. I ain't no washover now. I've been on the streets too, so I know the game. Alright? I have respect. So give me the respect also. You come on my page, respect me. You could criticize, but show respect. Alright? And I'll show you by the same respect. Eh? Blessed love. We still have love for you. And don't forget, give all the glory to the Most High.
Okay, so before you go,
Yeah.
can you some people are looking for information on like how to combine their foods. So maybe you could give them a little bit, just a fast run through on how they could, what types of food they should mix together in order to keep their immune system healthy and the colon and everything like that. So just give them a basic run through on how they should combine their foods and what should be eaten at certain time, you know.
Well, you know,
and things like that.
In the beginning, if you believe in scripture like I do, you know, because people say there's no God. A person said the other day, they're the atheist. I don't care if you're an atheist, that's your business. You know, but don't fight me down if I believe in something. You believe in the man who made who tamed the plane, who built the plane. You never seen before. But you believe that somebody designed the plane though. You believe that somebody designed your house you're living in though. So you believe in somebody. So you live in an illusion just like me. I believe. So if not because you're an atheist, you don't believe, you come and tell me I believe it's a sin. I believe in a creator. Just like you don't believe in one, that's your business. I don't say don't believe, that's your business. I believe in a creator. I believe the creator gave us a diet in the beginning, which is green leafy things. That's what he said. Green leafy things shall be for your meat, nuts and seeds and grain and the fruit of the leaves from the trees. So he gave us an alkaline diet in the beginning. And that is the way we have to eat because the body composition is just mostly alkaline. See? Venous blood, capillary blood, arterial blood, they're all alkaline. See? And we have to use the foods in an alkaline base. In order for the blood to correspond, that's why you have to eat what you grow what you eat. Because when you eat the foods in your environment, it corresponds to your bloodstream. Because when you eat another man's diet, if the food has to leave from America to come over here, the enzyme dies. Because enzymes don't like heat and enzymes don't like long travel. And we need enzymes in the food. You see what I'm saying? See? So if we eat the food in a compatible way, meaning that we go back to the original diet that the Most High gave us to eat. Green leafy things. 80% of your diet should be that. And if you're going to eat a protein food, you should eat a protein food with a green food, an alkaline food. An acid and alkaline, not acid and acid. See what I'm saying? So for instance, if I take in 10,000 milligrams of vitamin C per day, vitamin C in that amount will irritate my kidney. See? Because it's ascorbic acid. But if I buffer the vitamin C with calcium and magnesium and potassium because they are buffering agents, I change the pH in solution from 6.9 or 6.0 to 7.45 because I buffer it. So we must buffer. So the BioLife program will teach you these things. Teach you how to combine which foods are acid, which foods are alkaline, which foods take long to digest, which food take 3 and 4 hours in your stomach just to digest alone. These are the things we have to learn in order for the body to function well and assimilate the nutrients from the foods. But when we eat in dead atoms every day of our lives, dead foods, fast foods, high fat diet, greasy foods, barbecue foods, dead atoms, they have no atoms at all. You must expect that your organ will suffer and you must get the disease long term. See? So the BioLife program is going to be up in a little while. We're trying to get it organized so you could download it free, of course. And you could look at that and read and see how to combine your foods. See, when you eat a protein meal, you do not eat a fruit after a protein meal. Never eat a fruit after a protein meal. Never eat a dessert like ice cream after you eat a protein meal. It's going to mess up your pancreas. It's going to mess you up long term. And that is the reason why in the Western world, people are coming down with sicknesses on a regular basis because they never learn. So I'm going to teach you and pass it on to somebody else. Share it with somebody because each one teach one. I can reach the whole world. But if I share it with you and you share it with someone else knows someone else who have cancer, who have lupus, who have scleroderma, could pass the message on and then they could follow a principle of how to use the foods properly and the body will heal because the body heals itself if given the right nutrition. And doctors could doubt that. And if you eat the foods that keep the thymus gland healthy with the immune system well, your immune system will fight for you. And anything coming in to your immune system to kill you or to harm you, your friend, which is your immune system, will murder them. He will kill them off. They can never come in because he is your friend. But the way you eat, you make the same immune system, which is your friend, turn to your enemy. And he starts to attack you and attack your heart, attack your kidney, attack your lung. Why? Because you've been treating him bad. But if you treat him right, he will kill cancer cells for you. He will kill herpes for you. He will kill HIV for you. He will kill bacteria and fungi and parasites for you because he is your friend. And in order to keep him as a friend, you must eat the foods that have nutrients to feed the thymus gland, to feed your lymphatic system, to feed all the digestive tracts. And you will keep your body well and never get a disease. Give thanks and praises to the Most High Jehovah, for he is the greatest healer of all things. At the end of the day, give praise to no man, but all the praises due to the Most High, because he is the one that gives us what? Krista, wisdom and knowledge and understanding to pass it on to the masses of the people. Blessed love. Another cinnamon, we having Dr. Joe Kerber. We're going to have Dr. Joe Kerber on Friday, I believe, and we're going to talk about the spine. He's a chiropractor. We're going to have him on live, and he's going to talk about we worked with Dr. Joe Kerber for, I think it's 2 years, right? He worked in my clinic for 2 years while he was in Grenada. His wife is a doctor. And he was here for 2 years. We worked together. This brother helped a lot of Grenadian people with their back troubles. I was there, so I can tell you that. And to me, he's the best chiropractor in the world. So we're going to have him on Friday. And I think it's in the morning at 10 o'clock. And we're going to talk about the spine and the posture and how you could keep your spine well and how you could keep your posture well and prevent troubles in your back and in the vertebrae and also in the nerves of things that slip disc and sciatica nerve. He's going to teach you how to fix these troubles, okay? And then we're going to have a sister who we treated for myasthenia gravis, and she's free from myasthenia gravis now. Thank the Most High for His glory, all right? Until, give thanks and praise to the Most High. And don't forget, Ambrosia is where you're going to get all the herbs from now. 718-469-0985. Ask for Ashanti, Roland, or Trisha, and they will take care of you if you have any kind of troubles in your GI tract. Blessed love. Can
you give your contact so people can contact you for any help?
1473-416-2310 and 1473-536-4046. You can add me on WhatsApp. You can add me on IMO, and then we could talk from there, okay? There's a lot of people, but if I don't contact you right away, please be patient because I will eventually, okay? Long term. And don't forget, we are our brothers and sisters keeper. And don't forget to love your neighbor as yourself. Bless and love and give thanks and praise to the Most High. Bless him. Give thanks. All right.